Ghana Federation of Forest and Farm Producers has officially been launched. GhaFFaP is a national federation of forest and farm producer organizations drawn from 3 ecological zones of Ghana. They include the Savannah, Transition and Forest ecological zones for promoting the interest of forest and farm producers in Ghana. The evolution of GhaFFaP has been influenced by the desire of members to maximize their strength in numbers towards building strong and profitable forest and farm-based businesses, contribute to shape national policies for sustainable development, and promote climate resilience landscapes across the forest, transition, and savanna ecological zones in Ghana.
One thing that the minister said that I think we should all need or we have to reflect about has to do with he will be interested in how the resources we get reaches our membership. It shouldn't be people come, we do capacity building, we do workshop. At the end of the day, the farmer go back, and the amount we spend on the farmer to come and participate in the workshop will have bought that farmer 5 bags of fertilizer. It's something that we all need to reflect to see how can we ensure that if we have been building capacity of the farmer, there is value for money on the part of the farmer, that what he or she is getting is higher than the money that is spent for him or her to participate in that event. And I think it's relevant we all start reflecting on that. Fortunately for us, what I heard briefly from our own members, from Julius, from Joyce, and then from Joe, it means we have the internal resources that we can actually use to benefit our own members. If you look at what Julius is doing, there's something that at a glance I would have proposed that how can we make Julius our consultant that will help us develop the same models in the other areas, because his work is limited to those in Upper East and Upper East. How can we be able to scale that up to cover the other regions that we operate? Because it's very important. Me working with farmers over the years, that is one of the challenges I've also been asking myself. We do a lot of things on behalf of farmers. We speak on policies, there are policy changes, but the farmers still want to see that they are getting direct benefit from the interventions we are doing, so that they will be recognized as belonging to the association you fight for. And it has always been a challenge, because it's an area that donor cannot have enough money to say, okay, you take this amount and go and buy fertilizer for your farmers, or take this amount and go and buy seed for them. What the donor can do is to facilitate, to build your capacity, to be able to build the capacity of the farmer to improve he or her businesses, or to create a platform, or support you to create a platform to engage the policymaker to come up with policies that will benefit the farmer. So that's what the donor can do. Therefore, in the perspective of the farmer wants to get direct fertilizer from you. They want to get direct seeds from you. You want to see those days NGOs that will come and dig boreholes, build schools, build toilets. But the environment we work in is not for that. And it's something that we all need to do. And I think I'm inspired by what Julius is doing. I'm already aware of what he's doing. And I think we can all draw lessons from that and see how we'll be able to scale that up to cover other areas. Another major challenge has to do with we can't continue doing things the way we've been doing over the years and get different results. So we cannot continue practicing our old farming practices without adding value and be able to benefit from that. And we need to reach out to the over 5 million smallholder farmers. And how do we do that? We can't do that alone. We need extension officers. Even the government extension officers, it's not enough to do that. So I think the model or the software Joe explained will be very useful. And once they are willing to allow us to access it, we need to actually sit down and see how we'll be able to take the opportunity and scale that for others to also get other information that we want to impact on the farmers to improve their livelihood. This doesn't necessarily have to be the kind of technology that everybody is thinking about. We may have our own technology. For instance, we are promoting healthy farming. We are talking about using things like compost fertilizer, using organic fertilizer. How do we even get that information to the farmers that they can easily get organic or compost from this source? Recently, we have a number of companies that are coming to us asking to supply these commodities to the farmers. And I think some of you have given your contact to them. They want to supply to you directly and you give to the farmers. But there are still millions of farmers out there who don't know where to get these resources. And with GhaFFaP Cocoa's software, that will be very useful for us to be able to pass this information to most of our members who are deprived. So I want all of us to start reflecting and then challenge the minister that this is just not going to be one of those organizations that will come and launch and the following year we're going to sleep. We will tax ourselves and see what do we need to bring on board differently so that we'll be able to sustain whatever we are doing. So I think it's a very important point that we all need to start thinking about. And as we are living here, we need to actually start talking to see how we make this work. When the Deputy Minister started, he started with about time. So I wouldn't want us to continue to spend much time when we have more other things to do. But in our own agenda, we had it that tomorrow we will have a meeting in the PFAC's office to have our national executive meeting. But looking at the way we've been able to manage time, I don't think it's necessary for us to push this to tomorrow when we would have had other things to do in tomorrow. So I'm suggesting that when we go for lunch, all the producer organizations here, we should rather come back to this room and just have our national executive meeting to see how we'll be able to pick up leadership positions or whatever, how we are going to operate GhaFFaP from here. So that instead of staying another day after tomorrow, if you do that and those who are staying can still stay, and then tomorrow they can make their journey back. Ben, I don't know whether that is possible. If that is possible, then it means that after lunch, we need to come back. Now to close up what I have to say, maybe Madam Victoria should have been saying this, but she was just preparing to come. And then there was an emergency that she had to attend to, so she quickly called that we should step in for her. But she will be joining us in our subsequent meetings. So I want to use this opportunity to thank all of you for coming, to thank you for your contributions. Apart from the producer organizations, we still have others, like I can see Oxfam, I can see WorldApp, I can see Seacourt, I can see many other people who came to support our cause.
The vision of the Federation is to help improve the standard of living of members through sustainable environmental management and practice, contribute to sustainable livelihoods of forest and farm producers through advocacy, capacity building, environmental management, business development, and partnerships.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I join you all for the launching of the Ghana Federation of Forest and Farm Producers, GhaFFaP, here today. I have been reliably briefed that this launch is to formally outdoor GhaFFaP and iterate its key objectives and its relevance as an umbrella organization in galvanizing members to be positive primary agents of climate change, resilient landscapes, and drivers in the enhancement of improved livelihoods. I am pleased to see representatives from forest farm producers organizations, both women and men, high representation from the government, from parliament, the private sector, civil society, NGOs, and organizations who are equally involved in other activities. Producer organizations are at the heart of much of the United Nations work across the various agencies for their capacity to empower family farmers, indigenous people, persons dependent on the forest, livestock farmers, processors, fisher communities, to ensure that they have a voice in decision making, have access to markets and services, and help them manage their resources and territories more sustainably for increased well-being. By building their skills, strengthening their networks, helping to improve their governance and advocacy, and focusing on expanding their inclusivity, especially around gender equality and the inclusion of youth. I believe GhaFFaP and other analogous bodies can accelerate local communities, peri-urban dwellers to contribute more significantly to the delivery of food security, gender equality, land and forest management, and a wide range of other sustainable development goals, and in responding to climate change. The General Assembly of the United Nations has officially adopted the Decade of Family Farming, 2019 to 2028, which will contribute to the achievement of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals. The UN is poised to support forest and farm producer organizations through its different agencies to take a prominent role in strengthening rural development, resilience building, livelihood development, and promote collaboration and partnership among them all. It is my belief that as we launch GhaFFaP, we will together build synergies, complementarities across the spectrum of different stakeholders and partners, while leveraging on strengths of similar initiatives and drawing on the lessons learned from past attempts, avoiding mistakes made in the past, and ensuring there is collaboration. This, I believe, will allow for success that will be felt by grassroots members. Mr. Chairman, I would like to thank you and all participants for considering this launching program as important and making time to be part. It is my firm hope that this federation will afford us the opportunity to collaborate and move together as a team as we look forward to systematically empower all members under the federation and making sure it trickles down to the grassroots. On this note, I wish to wish you all fruitful results beyond this launch, and I wish you success in all your endeavors. Thank you for your attention.
The objectives of the Federation includes, but not limited to, serve as a platform in advocating for conducive forest and farm policies and laws in Ghana, to coordinate the establishment of partnership with government, private sector and civil society organizations for the benefit of forest and farm producers, and promote participation.
To me, launching of the Ghana Federation of Forest and Farm Producers Association to me, it's a wonderful day for Ghana, because looking at the way the forest, the desertification is running through from Mali, Burkina Faso, is very close to us. So what do? I believe your organization will be in a better place to stop the desertification. 2, when we were young, little kids in the countryside, what I really enjoyed was to walk through the forest and pick mangoes, pick oranges, avocados, because these fruits were the best in those days. I go back to the countryside, the oranges that I used to pick, mangoes that I used to pick, avocados that I used to pick, they are no longer there. Because we have cut all the trees, burned them, will refuse to do real planting. So I'm convinced the launching of Federation of Forest and Farm Produce, Ghana is going to stand on her feet, will be in a position, the kids will go to the forest areas and be picking avocados, mangoes, and oranges like we used to do. We will not just pick those fruits. We're making money out of those fruits. My mommy was also making money. My grandmother was making money. And not just ordinary money, it was a huge money in those days, big money. On Thursday, they would take it to the supermarket. They would use part of the money to buy us shoes, chalaote, school uniform. So I'm convinced, please let this institution, Federation of Forest and Farm Producers Association, stay. It's good to have all these farm fairs. 1 month, 2 months litigation. Everybody will be fighting for position. I want to be the chairman, I want to be the secretary, I want to be the general secretary. Please, please, I beg you, with all respect, that is not why you are here. You want to assist the community, you want to assist Mother Ghana, and you want to assist people to make a living. If they don't elect you as a general secretary, as a chairman, your time will come. With these few words, I'm most grateful for the invitation, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
To improve entrepreneurial and business capacities of members and provide business incubation services to forest and farm producers in Ghana, to promote sustainable environmental management and climate resilient practices and landscape restoration, to ensure gender inclusive practices in all programs and activities of member organizations, to serve as a platform for resource mobilization for member organizations, and also to provide internal economic and other appropriate relevant welfare services to member.
Though there have not been launched already, but I've seen some activities going on even before the launch. That is amazing. And looking at the objectives, Chairman said it all, so I just want to touch some of them. Your objectives, one of them is to improve entrepreneurship capacity. And I'm sure GhaFFaP will be different from the other organizations. It's only in Ghana where organizations will build the capacity of farmers and you become what to still there being active. If you build the capacity, go ahead, give seed or inputs for the farmer to benefit more, or bring his or her capacity after that, zero. So what do you expect him or her to use their capacity to pay for? That's another one. They also said to mobilize resources for members. Like Chairman said, if that is done, please let it go to the members. You have problem with leadership in this country. Sometimes the leadership will be quarreling among themselves as Chairman said. So if that happens, please let the members enjoy. And second, lastly, he also said the welfare of the members. I hope you stick to that. Like I said, I'm sure GhaFFaP will be different from all the other organizations to have seen so far. And I'm happy the way you are going about your things concerning you. We all know the threats that climate change is causing to the environment. So the step that you are taking, we are going to support you, commend you to do more. And once I'm here to launch GhaFFaP, Now, every program that is going to design this country, we are going to limit the so-called capacity building workshop and so on and so forth, and give the process for the money to the farmers. It's only a sort of a program whereby the organization has received $127 million, and what went to the farmer was 0.5%. All the money, workshops, training, work capacity, and the farmer, zero. So why are you telling me? So henceforth, we are not going to, it's not acceptable, we are not going to entertain those capacity building and workshop and what. Why the farmer you are saying you are going to help? Because of him or her that you are setting up the organization, it's not benefiting. You are not going to accept that anymore. The farmer should benefit. You want to build my capacity. You want to show me how to plant beans. You tell me this about what. You are famous. Where is the weed that I can pass? So please, and I'm sure GhaFFaP will be different from all the others. Thank you very much. And on that note, I'll give you the keynote address. So, Chairman of the Select Committee of Food and Agriculture, Parliament, and I'm the United Nations President Representative, Global Manager of the Forest and Farm Facility, Representative of Development and Donor Partners, Regional and District Directors of Agriculture, our most esteemed farmers, members of GhaFFaP Launch Planning Committee, members of the press, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I give it a great pleasure and honor to deliver the keynote address for this important meeting. Permit me to say, to first express my appreciation on behalf of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture of Ghana Federation of Forest and Farm Producers, GhaFFaP, and Food and Agriculture Organizations of the United Nations, FAO, for taking up to help Ghana protect its forests as it empowers local farmers economically. Mr. Chairman, I'm here today to share with you some ideas on building inclusive communities, climate resilience, and poverty alleviation. This thing is very unique as it draws attention to the positive gains that our country can derive if grassroots organizations of forest and farm producers are supported to play a pivotal role in the promotion of food security, diversified sources of income for smallholders, and climate resilient landscapes. Great success stories can be harvested in the area of farm and forest if we collaborate with civil society organizations and development partners. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Ghana continues to prioritize and promote initiatives that are aimed at addressing the effect of climate changes and building more resilient landscapes in our communities. I am delighted to inform you that recently, the government of Ghana announced a commitment to the tune of $6.3 billion for the implementation of programs aimed at reducing the country's carbon emission by 15% within the next 10 years. Government, working with other key stakeholders and partners, have identified several priority areas to undertake various climate interventions, including food, agriculture, energy, forestry, waste, infrastructure, and disaster risk reduction. It is without doubt that the environment, more than ever, is critical to the survival of humankind. Our understanding of the environment and its problems and our collective role as citizens in ensuring that the environment as a resource is valued and respected should be a priority for all. We at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture want to see an enhanced participation of women and youth in the management of environmental resources and the reduction of environmental risk to communities. To this end, we are delighted to learn that GhaFFaP will be prioritizing the active participation of women and youth through the GhaFFaP Women Champions Wing. The ministry's pledges to work hard in hand with civil society organizations, government agencies, private sector, and individuals to move beyond rhetorics and take action to improve the quality of life for all through climate resilient landscape where agriculture and forest related activities can thrive. It is estimated that up to 90% of farms worldwide are owned by and esteemed 1.5 billion smallholders on farm covering 1 to 10 hectares. It is obvious that these smallholder farmers constitute a critical mass and all effort must be made towards getting them organized to effectively contribute to rural and national economies. Mr. Chairman, let me on behalf of the government of Ghana commend the Forest and Farm Facility, GhaFFaP, for their support to forest and farm producers across the Savannah, Transition and Forest ecological zones. I am informed that the Forest and Farm Facility currently supports 11 forest and farm producers organizations located across the 3 ecological zones with over 172,000 individual members across the 3 ecological zones. I'm also aware the Forest and Farm Facility partners have been promoting a comprehensive approach based on a new paradigm shift from single commodity value chain to multiple commodities referred to as the basket of products. The strength in numbers of smallholder producers is particularly potent in their membership-based forest and farm businesses. Yet, while the participation of smallholder farmers and farm producers in consultative process is deemed necessary, the most absent capacity building mechanism for sustainable enterprise has rendered their potential to transform forest and farm landscape from improving degradation to enriched and sustainable landscape virtually wasteful. Ladies and gentlemen, attention is particularly required to address specific barriers facing women, youth, and the unique cultural context and circumstances of marginalized groups. Also, the development of better businesses incubators for the vast population of forest and farm smallholders is clearly a priority for attaining both the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, and nationally determined contributions and promoting climate action together. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is the commitment of the NPP government under the leadership of His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo to do everything within our means to support the integration of voices such as GhaFFaP to guide our decision as we value the contribution of grassroots member-based organizations to our broader national development aspirations, especially as we work towards achieving the Ghana Beyond Aid agenda. Government will continue to work with GhaFFaP to ensure that we achieve the President's vision of the forest and farm sector. On the occasion of the national launch of the GhaFFaP Let me once again congratulate the organizers and the entire members of GhaFFaP on this very significant milestone. It is my prayer that the Federation will grow to become an important voice in the promotion of smallholder forests and farm producers in Ghana and a pillar for poverty alleviation. Let me once again congratulate the organizers and the entire membership of the GhaFFaP on a very significant milestone. It is my prayer that the Federation will grow to become an important voice in the promotion of smallholder forests and farm producers in Ghana and the pillar of the poverty alleviation. I wish I would say that once twice. So on that note, I do thank GhaFFaP and God bless GhaFFaP.